Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video tonight there is lots to negotiate about. I am going to be giving you some news on Wilfred Ndidi from Leicester because there is huge developments on him. Then I'm going to be giving you some latest news on Ansu Fati from Barcelona. I've actually been talking with you about him on my recent videos and that. And then I think I'm going to be talking with you a bit about Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen. I think I was speaking with you about him last week, Kai Havertz. And then I'm going to be go a bit into I'm going to delve into, the Tottenham Manchester United game and that. Because as you all know, it is this Friday. So I will talk with you a bit more about that. So anyway, let's start with the news on Wilfred Ndidi from Leicester. So there has been stories coming out today from the mainstream media. This has, been stemming from the Daily Express, and they have said that Manchester United have expressed an interest in Wilfred Ndidi. Now, also, too, it does mention that Real Madrid and Barcelona are interested in him. I think it did, not Barcelona, I mean PSG, sorry, Real Madrid and PSG are interested in him. I think before lockdown, Real Madrid tried to get Wilfred Ndidi on the board. I think we have inquired about Wilfred Ndidi's availability before. He is a cheap solution as well. I think maybe you could get Wilfred Ndidi for around £32 million, according to recent reports. I think Wilfred Ndidi is regarded as one of the best holding midfielders in the Premier League. He is only at the age of 23, so he is still very, very young. We're actually seeing him as an adequate replacement for Nemanja Matic. Of course, Nemanja Matic did sign, was it, a one-year contract at Manchester United, because at one point it was looking likely that Matic was going to be leaving the football club. And to be fair, before the football season got suspended, Matic, was in a good vein of form for Man United. Of course, this has been Matic's third season at the club. We did get him from Chelsea in a deal worth around £40 million back in 2017. But maybe when his one-year contract comes to an end, then maybe, we will consider getting rid of Matic. Wilfred Ndidi, is well proven in that in the Premier League. I think his performances for Leicester have been very, very good. I think Wilfred Ndidi is now into his third season with Leicester. Yeah, this has been his third season with them. I think he's made around 130 appearances in all competitions, and he has got a contract with Leicester until 2024, so still got around 3.5-4 years left on his contract. Leicester paid £17 million to him from Genk back in 2017. So reportedly now, Manchester United are interested in the player, But I think Leicester did say a while ago that they've got no intentions of offloading him. Of course, Leicester have lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. Don't forget, they lost N'Golo Kante and Danny Drinkwater to Chelsea. They also lost Raheem Mahrez to Man City in the summer of 2018. And of course, they lost Harry Maguire to us last summer, did Leicester. Obviously, there's been talks as well of James Maddison leaving and that. But I do like Wilfred Ndidi a lot, and Man United are in search for a holding midfielder. So do you think Ndidi would go well alongside the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Pogba and all of that? Do let me know in the comments below. Now, let's give you the latest news on Ansu Fati from Barcelona. The stories regarding Ansu Fati have been coming from Duncan Castles, and Duncan Castles tends to be close to Manchester United. Duncan Castles has confirmed that Manchester United have put a second bid in for Ansu Fati. And reportedly, the second bid we put in was a £135 million bid. Well, it was worth £135 million. I think we offered like £90 million up front with around £45 million in add-ons and that. But reportedly, the second bid we've put in has been turned down by Barcelona. Don't forget, there were stories coming out last week saying that we'd put an £89 million bid in for Ansu Fati. But again, this had been turned down by Barcelona. Now, the Barcelona sporting director recently denied that Barcelona had held talks with Man United, regarding Ansu Fati. But now we've actually now stepped up our interest in him, and Duncan Castles has also confirmed this. we're actually, seeing him as an alternative to Jadon Sancho. At the moment, Ansu and Fati Vieira has got a release clause of around £150 million. But reportedly, if Ansu and Fati Vieira does sign a professional contract at Barcelona, his release clause rises up to £360 million. Has he got a contract with Barcelona until 2022, if I'm right? He is predominantly a left winger. This has actually not been his first season in Barcelona's senior squad. He did make his debut last year in Barcelona's 5-2 win against Real Betis. He's been at Barcelona since 2012. So this has been like his 8th season in total with Barcelona. Barcelona did get him from Sevilla and that, but George Mendes has been working on, on this Ansu and Fati Vieira deal and that. But I think Barcelona have confirmed that they've got no intentions of offloading him unless his release clause is triggered. So, yeah. So, that is the latest news on him. So, reportedly, we've had a £135 million bid turned down for the player. So, there you go. Now, let's delve into news on Kai Havertz from Bayer Leverkusen. So, the news regarding Kai Havertz is that, Bayer Leverkusen have confirmed that if they are to sell Kai Havertz, they do want around £90 million. Now, also, I think it's from the Telegraph. They've said, now Bayern Munich are emerged as the favourites to sign Kai Havertz. Like I said, we've been in for him. Chelsea have also been tracking Kai Havertz as well. It did confirm, I think, last week that Chelsea had put in, or they were planning to put in, a £75 million bid for Kai Havertz. I think Chelsea are reluctant to pay £90 million for the player. It did also confirm that Chelsea and Bayer Leverkusen are miles apart in Kai Havertz valuation and that. So actually, Kai Havertz, may not, go to Chelsea. Real Madrid have also been in for him. Liverpool have been in for him as well. But Kai Havertz the other week did make an admission saying that he's open to making a move to the Premier League. So yeah, Bayer Leverkusen, do want around £90 million. I've got to make an admission, Chelsea have done very, very good business so far. And, the summer transfer window isn't even open yet. Like I said, Chelsea got Hakim Ziyech in February from Ajax for around £38 million. I think they've now got Werner. Has it been made official? I haven't actually read into it. I think it did say today it was going to be made official. So that's obviously Frank Lampard's second signing as Chelsea manager. Ben Chilwell, of course, he's Chelsea's number one priority target as well. So I think Chelsea are going to really have a competitive summer transfer market. I don't think they're going to stop there after Werner. I think they're going to get a few more signings on the board as well. But Kai Havertz may not go to Chelsea. Now, there were stories coming out a few weeks ago from Sky Sports saying that, we was leading the race for Kai Havertz. And it says, we was planning to put around the £50 million bid in for him. And Solsjaker did say that he's convinced we can sign Kai Havertz in the summer transfer window. But I think we have made a transfer decision regarding Kai Havertz and Donny van de Beek. And I think, we'd prefer Donny van de Beek to Kai Havertz. Like I said, Kai Havertz was in Bayer Leverkusen's youth setup for a good 6 or 7 years. He's been in Bayer Leverkusen's senior squad since 2016, but since then has become an integral part of their team. Don't forget, Kai Havertz became the youngest debutant in the Bundesliga, and he also became the first player to reach a milestone of 50 and 100 appearances in the German top flight. And his versatility is very, very good, and Kai Havertz is only the age of 21. There's been a lot of clubs in for him. There's some I didn't mention earlier on. I think it says Newcastle have been in for him. Man City have been in for him for the last year or so. So, yeah. So, that is the latest news regarding Kai Havertz. You obviously know the news on Donny van de Beek from Ajax. Obviously, of course, the Ajax youth coach, Ronald de Boer. He recently came out and said that Manchester United may sign Donny van de Beek in the summer transfer window if Real Madrid show no interest. I think we could be leading the race now for him, or we are leading the race because of obviously Real Madrid's finances and that. But they obviously, has been reports saying that, Donny van der Beek has already agreed to go to Real Madrid for around £49 million. Of course, we're looking to hijack Real Madrid's pursuit of the player. Now, Edwin van der Sar, who's the CEO of Ajax, the other week he confirmed Manchester United's interest in Donny van der Beek. And we've also been in talks with Edwin van der Sar. But van der Sar did say that, Ajax players will not go on the cheap. Quite a few players have left Ajax in recent years. Obviously, they lost Frankie de Jong to Barcelona, and they also lost Matthijs de Ligt to Juventus and all of that, did Ajax and that. But I do like Donny van der Beek a lot. He's got a lot of good physical attributes. He's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. You can say he's probably got too many similarities to Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, but he'd help us get the best out of Fernandes and Pogba. If he did come into the football club, he said the other week as well, we're looking to get Donny van der Beek for around £36 million. So we're looking to get him in a cut price deal, and he's only in his early 20s. Is Donny van der Beek? I think he's still got a contract with Ajax until 2022. He made his senior debut for Ajax in 2015 in their game against Celtic in the Europa League, but since then has become an integral part of their team. So he's another midfielder on our agenda and that. The news on Jack Grealish. I've been keeping up to date of what's been going on with him on a regular basis. There has been stories coming out saying that, we're willing to offer Jack Grealish a contract worth around £150,000 a week. So he did say we are willing to double his wages. Jack Grealish has come out and said that he wants to leave Aston Villa and he's desperate to join Manchester United. I think whether Villa get relegated or stay up, it doesn't change Jack Grealish's mind. He still wants to leave Aston Villa. He did confirm from Sky Sports the other week that our interest in Jack Grealish depends on Aston Villa's survival. So it did say if Aston Villa do survive, they will get rid of Grealish. But if they get relegated, they are reluctant to offload him. Villa did say quite a few weeks ago that they do want £80 million for Grealish. We are preparing to put around a £75 million bidding for him. Did confirm not too long ago that, we've identified Jack Grealish now as our number one priority target and that. So, the news on him. I obviously give you the news on Jadon Sancho this morning. Of course, there has been stories coming out saying that, Sancho is willing to make a return to Man City because, we're struggling to, pay Borussia Dortmund's £115 million asking price and that. So, the news on Jadon Sancho, and obviously, you had Borussia Dortmund's head of football, recently saying that they expect Sancho to stay at Dortmund for next year. So that is the latest on all of the transfer news and that. So let's talk with you now a bit about, the Tottenham-Manchester United game. Like I said to you, it is this Friday, 8:15 kickoff, Tottenham and Manchester United, of course. And I've got to say now, I think it is the game of the season. It is the game of the season. But, who will come out on top? Jose Mourinho or Ole Gunnar Solsjaker? Of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to beat Jose Mourinho for the second time as a manager because he's already overcome Jose Mourinho once this season because we beat Tottenham earlier on in the season by 2-1. Since Solskjaer got recommended in, he's beaten Tottenham twice. So on Friday, we're looking to beat Tottenham for the third time as a manager. But yeah, revert back to what I just said, it is the game of the season. We've got an easy run in. We've got 9 games remaining. I think we should win at least 7 of the 9 games we have got remaining. And I think the only hard games we've got is probably, the one on Friday and, the last game of the season against Leicester. But I think prior to that, we should win the vast majority of our games. Of course, there's 92 games to play in all competitions. But like I said, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches that game on Friday against Tottenham. What I mean is, it's going to be interesting to see, what 11 Ole Gunnar Solskjaer puts out for the game against Tottenham. And I think he's got an idea, Solskjaer, what his best 11 is. I've already given you my starting 11 prediction for the game against Tottenham on Friday. You already know that. Yeah, and it's also going to be interesting to see what formation Ole Gunnar Solskjaer goes with as well, because Solskjaer has been changing formation persistently this season. Of course, he's been going with a 4-2-3-1 a lot. From my own perception, that doesn't seem to suit our standards. A few times he's gone with the 3-4-1-2. Quite a few times as well, he's gone with a 4-3-3. And I think in the games against likes of Chelsea and Man City, he went with the 5-3-2 formation. But how's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer how's he going to approach the game? Obviously, he's going to be looking to tactically nullify Tottenham and Jose Mourinho, like he did earlier on in the season. By the way, Ryan Giggs has recently been talking, and he's come out and praised Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for getting, the players playing well for the club again and that, and also to Ryan Giggs has taken a swipe at Jose Mourinho and that. Don't forget, Jose Mourinho has been talking recently. He did say, he told people that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is out of his depth at Manchester United. Solskjaer was talking about Jose Mourinho, was it a while back, saying, I think Solskjaer did mention, the main problem that Jose Mourinho had at Man United, and that was the dressing room. Problems in the dressing room, or something like that, because I think Solskjaer and Jose Mourinho did have a chat a while back, and obviously, before the football season got suspended, Solskjaer, was saying that a lot needed to be changed at Manchester United when he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018 and that. Of course, Jose Mourinho is going to be reuniting with Manchester United, of course. Like I said, Jose Mourinho endured 2.5 years with us. Obviously, in his 2.5 years at Man United, like I said, he won the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season. Also got a second in his first season and that. But I give you the main explanations why it didn't work out under Jose Mourinho is because, he had bad disputes with the board. He had bad disputes with the top players. The board weren't backing the signings that I wanted to recommend in to the football club. And this is why it didn't work out under him. And I think, we also recommended him in too late. In reality, we should have got Jose Mourinho, when obviously, Alex Ferguson retired and that. But, he's no longer a manager at the top level. He's no longer a manager at the top level, is Jose Mourinho and that, But, this is why it didn't work out in his 2.5 years at Man United. He also recommended 11 players into the club, did Jose Mourinho? And there's only a few players that have left the club, who Jose Mourinho brought in. The vast majority of these players are Jose Mourinho's, and put into the equation, Solskjaer is inheriting the vast majority of his players. Like I said, Mourinho brought Lindelof in. He brought Eric Bailly in. It was Mourinho's first signing. He also brought Diego Dalot, Lee Grant, and Fred. I think he brought them 3 players in his final transfer window at Manchester United. He also brought Matic into the club, don't forget. He also brought Pogba in, yeah. He brought Pogba in. He also brought Sanchez in. He brought Ibrahimovic in. He brought Mkhitaryan in, did Jose Mourinho. So yeah, he brought a hell of a lot of players into the football club. I think he spent, was it 400 million or just under 400 million pounds on these players, did Mourinho on that. But yeah, I am really, really looking forward to this game. As you all know, we know that obviously, Paul Pogba's not in the starting lineup. Because it has been confirmed today that, Paul Pogba will be benched for the game on Friday against Tottenham. But maybe, he will come on as a substitution. I think maybe some Man United fans are infuriated about this because there's no excuse, why Paul Pogba cannot start the game. Because obviously, now Paul Pogba is fully fit. Like I said to he has been doing very, very well in training as Pogba. But maybe, like I said, he may come on as a substitution and that. So, we're probably not starting on Friday. I think our first choice midfield trio will be Bruno Fernandes, McTominay and Fred. Like I said, Matic will still get chances, but I think, he'll be more on the bench now, won't Nemanja Matic, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But our first choice midfield trio of obviously, Paul Pogba in the team and starting, it will be Pogba, Bruno Fernandes and Scott McTominay and that. I think Paul Pogba is going to be our next number 10. Solskjaer did confirm last week that, Paul Pogba will be our next number 10. And, of course, Bruno Fernandes will be our number 8 and that. United fans have got different verdicts on this. Some Man United fans, would put Bruno Fernandes in number 10 because that's where his predominant position is and that's where he's more effective. And they'd obviously, put Paul Pogba in the number 6 or the number 8 and that, to be honest with you. But yeah, Solskjaer's decision has been made on that aspect and that. We know Paul Pogba's staying at the football club. Like Adnan Januzaj recently confirmed, who's a close friend of Pogba, he did say that Pogba will stay at Man United beyond this season. Probably, will be at the football club as well for next season. Paul Pogba hasn't played for us since our 4-1 win against Newcastle on Boxing Day. And the last time he started from the start was back in September. But I did say, didn't I think Bruno Fernandes is key to Paul Pogba's future. Because, when they do play together in our midfield, and they do form a good midfield partnership, I do, think, Paul Pogba will end up signing a new long-term contract at the club. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's got a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year and that. And he's on just under 300 grand a week on his current contract, so one of the highest paid players. Also our most expensive signing at the moment because we did pay £89 million for Paul Pogba and that. But obviously, recently played West Brom in 2 friendlies. We lost 2-1, but then we won 3-1. And Pogba and Bruno Fernandes played together in our midfield for the very, very first time. My verdict on Bruno Fernandes, definitely the best player and midfielder in the Premier League. Because, like I said, every Premier League game Bruno Fernandes has played in so far for Man United, he's been given, man of the match. I think he's our player of the year. He also won Premier League Player of the Month back in February, reflecting on his good run of performances. Definitely the sign of Bruno Fernandes saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job at Man United. Of course, we did get Bruno Fernandes in January. We got him in a deal worth around £65 million, Bruno Fernandes, with add-ons included. Now, I think Fernandes did sign like a 5.5-year deal. Some people believe Bruno Fernandes, will be the next Paul Scholes, so he'll emulate into the next Paul Scholes and all of that. But yeah, I've been very, very impressed, with Bruno Fernandes, definitely. So, there you go. Like I said, though, on my video that I did this morning, there's around 4 targets, that Manchester United need to achieve, when, the Premier League season does resume. And those 4 targets is either the FA Cup or the Europa League. It would be good, to win at least one of them. Because we obviously we do want to get some silverware on the board under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We are into the last day of the FA Cup and we're into the last day of the Europa League. We do have Norwich in the last day of the FA Cup. So in reality, we should be winning that game. Well, we're not in the last day of the Europa League yet, obviously, but obviously, it's looking very, very likely we are because, we are 5-0 up against last from the first leg. So if we could win both of them, or at least one of them, it would be a memorable first full season for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and all of that, So I'm really, really looking forward to the FA Cup and the Europa League. Also, too, developing the youth. Because I've credited Solskjaer, because to be honest with you I think he has promoted the youth very, very well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I said, the young players have been given their opportunities this season, such as Greenwood, he's done very, very well. Brandon Williams, he's also done very, very well as well, so I credit him for that. But there again, there's some young players, that have found game time very, very difficult at the football club. Gomez's appearances have been limited. Heath Chong's appearances have been limited. Also, to James Garner, his appearances have been limited at the club, But I do probably expect them to get more chances, when the Premier League season does resume and all of that. Like I said, with Bruno Fernandes and Pogba in the same team, that's something else, we have got to achieve as well. But like I said, revert back to what I said about Pogba, he's not starting the game against Tottenham, so he should start the game against either Sheffield United or the Norwich game in the Cup. But he could, like I said, he could still come on in the game against Tottenham. Another thing we've got to achieve as well is that top four, because, definitely the top four is a priority for us, because obviously, we do want qualification for the Champions League for next season. As it stands at the moment, we're sitting fifth in the Premier League, and we are just 3 points behind Chelsea, in the Premier League, and that I'm very, very convinced, to be honest with you. I'm very, very convinced, that we can get that top four. Look at our running, like I said, we should be winning the vast majority of them games and that, and hopefully, Chelsea can, drop some points, and some teams above us, hopefully, they can drop points as well. But there's quite a few teams in that top four race and that. If, we don't beat Tottenham, then you could maybe say then top four is over for Manchester United. But we get top four, it's going to help us have more of a competitive summer transfer window. What I mean is, we'll attract players to the elite level. Also, too, we'll generate money, for getting qualification for the Champions League. There were stories coming out recently saying Solsjaker will get a 1 million bonus if he guides us to a top four finish and all of that. So there you go on that. But Tottenham will be saying the same thing as what I've just said regarding Man United. Tottenham will say if they lose, on Friday, their top four ambitions will be over, because, Tottenham, cannot win anything in terms of silverware, this season, because they're not in the Champions League. They're not in the FA Cup and that. So they are now fighting for top four. But I think if they don't win on Friday, I think, they'll be focusing on, try to get qualification for the Europa League, will Tottenham. I'm also looking forward to seeing Marcus Rashford in action as well. Because, of course, Marcus Rashford, is now back from injury, which I'm very, very happy about. And like I did say to overall, Rashford is one of our best players, and he was one of our best players earlier on in the season before, he sustained this back injury and that. We're also playing at a new ground, because we've not yet played at Tottenham's new ground, like I've mentioned. Of course, Tottenham paid around £1 billion for their new stadium. I think Tottenham are still paying it off in instalments, if I'm right. I heard the other week that Tottenham had taken around a £175 million loan. Well, that's what I heard anyway. That's what I heard anyway in that. So, there you go. But, yeah. Really, really looking forward to the game. And like I've said on my recent videos, these decisions that Manchester United have got to make, probably for when the season resumes, there's decisions we've probably got to make ahead of next season as well. Like I said, we're facing a bit of a dilemma at left back, because we've got Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams at left back. But I think for the remainder of this season, Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back. Maybe next season, Williams could be our first choice left back. Depends on how it develops and that. But Luke Shaw is more experienced than Brandon Williams. We've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future. The news regarding Angel Gomez. It recently come out from The Athletic. And they said, we've had breakthrough negotiations with Angel Gomez. Reportedly, he's close to signing a new contract, but, there's no agreement yet. There's no agreement that's been reached as yet. I think the new contract we've offered Angel Gomez is around £25,000 a week. I think we've made a decision on Delo and Eric Bay. We are determined to keep them at the football club. Even though Delo's appearances have been limited this season, but he is our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka. And also to Bay, was determined to keep him, even though he is injury prone. Is Eric Bay, and is obviously, our backup, one of our backup centre halves, is Eric Bay and that. You obviously, the news regarding Dean Henderson, don't you? Solskjaer, it came from Sky Sports list, Solskjaer did say that Dean Henderson will be England's #1 goalkeeper and Manchester United's #1 goalkeeper in the future. I've been hearing, that Dean Henderson could actually, be our #1 goalkeeper next season. Of course, for the remainder of this season, David De Gea, will remain our #1 goalkeeper and that. But De Gea has been our #1 goalkeeper for several years and that. Chris Wilder, did say that Sheffield United are close to extending Dean Henderson's loan until the end of the season. There was talk saying that Sheffield United could take him on loan for the third season, because this has been Dean Henderson's second season on loan with Sheffield United, and he's been a revelation for Sheffield United, and he has been their player of the year and all of that. So these decisions, that Manchester United have definitely got to make. Of course, Igalo, The other week, we extended his loan at the club. But his starts now will be limited, I presume, because obviously, now Marcus Rashford, he's back from his back injury, so there you go. But it won't be easy, from a Tottenham perspective, they'll be delighted that, they've got Harry Kane back and, that they have got Human Son now back and that. But the disappointing news is, from a Tottenham perspective, Dele Alli will be missing the game. Because Dele Alli, recently got a 1-game suspension from the FA for his coronavirus offensive social media posts, and he had got fined around £50,000 for this. But, we want to finish the season on a high, and, Tottenham, they want to finish the season on a high as well. But before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form. Don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions and that. So Solsjaker will be under pressure to keep this good run of form up. But it'd be interesting to see how Solskjaer approaches the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's already said, he wants to make around 3 major signings or 4 major signings at the end of the season, because this is what he believes, he believes Man United need this, to be title contenders next season. Don't forget, recently our transfer budget got revealed. We have got around £269 million to spend in the summer transfer window. That should be enough for us, to get, the right calibre players into the club. Don't forget, Solskjaer's already spent just over £200 million at Manchester United since he got recommended in. So far Solskjaer's recommended 5 players into the football club, and put into the equation, we are going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window, so we are going to generate money that way. I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. We're going to get rid of Phil Jones. We're looking to get rid of Small and Rojo on permanent transfers. We're looking to get rid of Lingard and Andres Pereira and all of that. And to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the dead wood since he got recommended into the football club. But Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at Man United, and does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows. Solskjaer has been at the football club now for around 18 months. So there you go on that. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.